Hi everyone, welcome back to Community Building with Aishah and Tanu. In today's episode, we're talking about where she has been feeling stuck and where she's hoping that life coaching through my What's Next Mama program is going to help her feel unstuck. Enjoy. Okay, Tanu, my next question for you is, where are you currently feeling stuck?
So that's a great question, Aisha, and thank you for asking me that, because there have been a lot of milestones where I have been stuck. And thanks to my family, thanks to the support that I have, I've been able to pursue my career and everything. And everything has just unfolded very beautifully with the unconditional support that my in-laws have given me, or that my parents have sometimes given me. But I think I still get stuck where I get stuck is that, when you're in a joint setup, of course it's a blessing. And I'm not talking from a space where I'm complaining, but I'm talking about a challenge, which I will share because I think a lot of women would face and would choose to be closeted about, but I will not be. I think when you're in a joint setup and when your baby is being managed by multiple people, sometimes you feel the pressure of being tight-lipped and just giving in and succumbing to the different parenthood ways that you may or may not necessarily agree with. And at that moment, you may be going through a conflict or a war inside of you. But as a human being and as a responsible family person that I aspire to be for my son, of course, parenthood is important, but I think it's important for me to also nurture relationships, especially for people who got me inside this house with so much of love and trust. One thing I don't want to be doing is talking the wrong words and saying the wrong language and showing a reaction. But how is it that I can alter that? Maybe it's my fault that my listening is not from the space that it should be more powerful. Maybe I'm listening to it in a very disempowered way. But how can I tweak that for myself? How can I shift my listening to a more powerful space and then translate it into a language which becomes more effective, more workable? And that's somewhere that I still feel stuck, because at no point of time would I want to be in a situation where I give that impression that I have absolutely no respect, no regard for the experience that already my family has. My parents, my husband's parents, they have brought us up. I can't, and I would definitely not. I'm not thinking that I'm disrespecting that, but somehow I need to feel more powerful with what I'm listening, what I'm seeing, and how am I able to express that. I think any person who feels that they are the best at communication, I think your family is the biggest mirror that you can get of how you are able to deal with that on a day-to-day basis. And this is where I am stuck right now, because sometimes I do get, reactive of,
Right.
and protective. It's just out of protection. But how do I enroll people around me, even in my friendly circle,
Right.
even in my PTA meetings when I go to school for my son? How can I enroll that person around me on those important moments which I feel are going to be absolutely crucial points for my child's upbringing? I'm not sure if you've heard of a situation like that before, but that's something where I at least feel stuck, and I don't want to feel stuck, and I don't want to do it to oblige anybody and harm my parenthood, and I don't want to harm any relationships. So that awkwardness, I think it's going to be more popular in a specific culture like India, where most of us kind of tend to live in a joint setup. It's either my own parents or your in-laws, whichever way it is, because you need that support if you want to pursue a career, So that is something that I feel that I'm still stuck with sometimes.
And it's a great example. You're speaking of it from your perspective of living in a joint household and you as a parent. But what you're describing is it's a prevalent problem. Being able to translate the different languages, the language that we hear in our own head versus the language that we need to use to speak to someone else versus the language that's in their own head. So that's
exactly.
My program, it focuses very much on us, very much on our inner workings. Because what I have found in my own experience is the more complete I feel inside, the better I'm able to communicate to the world around me. And the more I'm able to get other people to understand me. I'm still very much on that journey, but it's essentially bridging the gap between my intention and my action. So I'm very much on a journey of bridging that gap, because the closer those two are together, the more harmonious the environment with me and everything around me. So thank you for sharing.
I agree.